force you to just kind of calm down and listen to your organs, so to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of be more in tune with your body. And the purpose of this book is really awareness, how to heal everything, know your organs, love your organs, and more awareness as well to just kind of be an overall well-being.
Like I say in the book, like imagine you had 10 servants that were just dedicated to serving you and helping you be happy and healthy, and they're on call 24 hours a day, and you do have these servants, they're your organs, and they're here to serve you, and they're living in you, and the happier you are, the happier they are, and vice versa. So if you take care of your organs, you'll have less anger, less fear, less anxiety, less health problems, more money because you don't have to spend money on doctors because you'll figure out what your organs are telling you when it's just the beginning of a problem and not waiting until it gets really severe that you need medication.
I love it. And you have a bonus chapter in here too called America the Toxic. Isn't that, you hit the nail right on the head. We are just getting from toxic to more toxic to more toxicity instead of going the other way.
Yeah, it's amazing. Every day in the newspapers I'm seeing changes in society. Like I have a part about GMOs, genetically modified foods. Like Campbell's Soup just announced they're going to start labeling if it has GMOs. So there's big industries that are behind these chemicals that don't want these to be exposed because it's really making us sick, but it makes them a lot of money. Like these artificial sweeteners are very popular, but they actually make you gain weight. So the only reason people use artificial like diet sodas is to lose weight, but actually you gain weight when you drink these things. So there's things in the water like fluoride and chlorine in the water that should be filtered out before we drink them.
Right. And like you mentioned, depression and sugar issues just on the rise. Thank you again so much, Warren. I can't wait to have you back on our show again.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Again, loveyourorgans.com. Thank you, Warren. Thank you, listeners. Tune back in next week and enjoy the recorded shows in the meantime.
Whole life works completely differently than term does.
Yeah, and some people have a mixture of term and whole life. I actually do.
Well, that's what I have. I have a pin life, whole life policy. Had Northwestern Mutual one time, but that was many years ago. But yeah, so I've got a mix, and that's exactly why I've got a mix. Works the same way. So let's switch gears a little bit. I'm a business owner. I've got a partner, or I've got my kids in the business, or my wife is, in my case, my partner is my wife, who's senior vice president, runs our marketing and finance for the company. Keyman Insurance. Why would I do that? Why if I die, why do I want to have Keyman Insurance either for my partner, my spouse, if she's in the business, but let's just say it's two partners, it's two guys or two gals. We just had a business, a woman, in fact you're working with them, they'll go nameless on the air, but where the two partners separated, and now there's a loan to pay off the other partner. So she wants to buy a life insurance policy to ensure that loan can be paid if something happens to her. So let's talk about Keyman and why that's important and how to use that as a vehicle to take care of your business and protect each partner.
Okay. There's two kinds of life insurance that we see within a business. One is Keyman, key person, and one is buy-sell. Key person, usually a partner within a business, has unique skills that contribute to the revenue of the business. Should that key person pass away, what impact would that have on the business? Most times very, very significant impact. Sometimes they're irreplaceable. It will drain the company, drain the revenue. That would be key person. Doesn't have to be an owner. It could be somebody else in the business.
It could be the head of your marketing department.
Yeah.
If he's been there for 10 years or she's been there 10 years and they have the relationship with all the accounts, that could be a key person for you.
Exactly. Another version is buy-sell. If I own a business and I own it with Carrie, for example, and I die, my wife will inherit my portion of the business.
And do we want her walking through the door telling us, change the paint, I don't like the secretaries, and fire the receptionist?
Exactly. She may know nothing about the business, nor have no interest in it whatsoever. So what a buy-sell, it gets funded with life insurance. The money will come into the beneficiary, and the beneficiary has to, it's an agreement, pay off the surviving owner of the business.
And they're out.
They're out. So the beneficiary's fine. They're happy from financially, they got the money. The surviving owner's fine, now has outright ownership of the business.
We had a very similar situation to this in Wichita. It was a manufacturing firm. It was actually a nephew who was brought in. There was a buy-sell put in place. He died. Like a year after the nephew and the buy-sell got put in place, his widow got paid off, which she would not have done if they hadn't put this in place. Several $1 million. This is a big policy. And he and his wife successfully run that company now. So this is an important piece for business owners to understand, and it's an important piece for peace of mind, and it's an important piece that if something happens to one of the two partners or in that business, that you're not going to have a war between the surviving spouse and the business partner over who's going to control or run the business.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've seen a lot of problems develop because of the lack of planning.
Yeah, absolutely. And people consistently put this off. But, like I always say, you're not going to get a letter in the mail that says tomorrow morning you're going to get hit by a bus, or tomorrow morning you're going to wake up and be the doctor with leukemia. These things happen in life, and we don't have a lot of warning. The other thing I want to go back to real quick before we go out to break is the key man. That's a lot of people probably get the partner part, but if you've got an executive in your company that is they've been with your company a long time, they control key accounts, or they provide a key service, or whatever the case may be, that is a person you can insure to make sure that you're going to be able to continue or replace that person or move forward with your company and not lose that income stream. A little bit about that again.
Yeah, exactly. The key person, they have unique skills, experience, relationships with their customers, and the loss of them would have a huge impact on the business. So what would happen is the money would flow into the business should that key person die. Business beneficiary, it will help them get through those challenging times, because there will be challenging times. They may have to hire somebody, they may have to make all sorts of changes, and the key person is, they just have unique skills.
Yeah, you may want to bring in another person, pay them more money, attract a top level person to take that slot that maybe is even more qualified than the one you had to ensure that business stays in place. Maybe there's additional travel expenses going out to see those clients, and maybe you've got to put on a full court press to make sure they know there's going to be a smooth transition, and you're not going to lose that account to somebody else who's been sitting there waiting for the opportunity. So that's why that key man or key woman, key person, insurance can make a big difference to you.
In sports teams do it as well.
Yes.
They insure their top players. LeBron James, imagine lots of revenue to the Miami Heat.
Yeah, a couple dollars, yes, without a doubt. We're going to come back after break. We'll continue our current conversation with Tom Rome. You're listening to America's Healthcare Advocate, broadcasting on the HA Radio Network, coast to coast across the USA.
Are you turning 65 soon and trying to decide what you should do about Medicare? Are you signed up for Part D? Should you sign up for Part B? Do you buy a med supplement on Medicare Advantage? If this all sounds confusing, that's because it is. Let the licensed, qualified agents of Benefits by Design take the confusion out of Medicare by explaining all of your options and letting you decide which one is right for you. Information is knowledge, and providing you with good information will allow you to decide what Medicare plan fits your budget and your needs. Let Benefits by Design's qualified licensed agents help you today. Call 877-385-2224 or visit our website, benefitsbydesigninc.com. Call 877-385-2224.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400 and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Has neck, back, or shoulder pain got you down? Go to sunshine-pillows.com and get soothing comfort, support, and pain relief fast. Their microwavable heat therapy pillows and wraps treat neck and shoulder pain, reduce stress, and relax the soul. An ergonomic pillow from Sunshine Pillows supports your head and neck on long trips or when simply resting at home. Be good to yourself. Visit sunshine-pillows.com. Sunshine-pillows.com.
In a crisis, your number one need is food, but not just any food. Experts say everyone needs to have non-perishable, good for 25 years survival food on hand in case of an emergency. Well, right now, in what is truly an unprecedented move, 72-hour survival food kits are being given away to listeners while supplies last. Survival food is more important today than ever before, explains Frank Bates, a spokesman for the company. Natural disasters, terrorist attacks, and other threats can make obtaining sufficient food impossible in an emergency. This 72-hour survival kit has 16 servings of delicious food ready for 25 years of storage. It sells to the general public for $27 plus shipping and has been rated 4.5 out of 5 stars by customers who paid full price. But listeners who act quickly can get it free, just cover $9.95 shipping. Go to freefood2.com right now. Supplies are limited and the program may end at any time. Go to freefood2.com now. That's freefood2.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Mineral Doctor. You've heard me talk about 90 for life for years. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 fatty acids. You may not know this, that I've actually designed Arthrodex for animals. That's right. Your pets need 90 for life too. Get this essential pet product by calling 877-279-9422. That's 877-279-9422. Again, 877-279-9422.
GCN and Longevity are bringing Dr. Wallach to Hawaii for the first time in 20 years. Hi, I'm Jamel Bookaboo, Vice Presidential Marketing Director with Longevity and the GCN team. Exclusive to GCN, you have the opportunity to meet and greet Dr. Joel Wallach for leaders that want to support GCN, your health and wealth. Visit wallachhawaii.com, teamg'day.com, or call 808-436-5025. 808-436-5025.
Welcome back. You're listening to America's Healthcare Advocate Show, broadcasting coast to coast across the USA. Here on the HIA Radio Network, you can find out more about us by visiting our website, americashealthcareadvocate.com. If you've got questions about health insurance, life insurance, any of that stuff, we are happy to answer them. Go to the website, send me an email. Our producer, Mr. Brian Prince. I'm your host, Kerry Hall. Coming up in this segment, we're going to continue our conversation with Tom Rome. 16 years in the business doing life insurance. He obviously knows what he's talking about. He is our in-house life insurance expert at Benefits by Design. That's my agency, and this is what we do. So here's one I always get that I find amusing. I have life insurance at work. Yeah, probably about $10,000 worth in most cases, or $20,000 worth. Highly doubtful you've got 10 to 15 times your income on your life insurance policy at work. So you ask yourself the question, how far is my family going to get on $10,000 or $15,000, Tom?
Well, I always recommend people to get life insurance outside of what they have through work. A few reasons. Number one, it's never enough. Number two, it's not portable. in most cases.
Big meaning, if you leave the job, you lose the policy.
And you want to have life insurance that you control, that you own, that you bring with you, no matter what your situation is.
And those policies, we have it at work and with our company, and I call them incidental policies because it's 10 or 15 or 20,000. I think we've got 20,000. It's $20,000, but it's not enough to sustain anybody over a period of time. So it makes a lot more sense to have your own policy. Let's switch gears, though. This is one we get all the time. I've got health problems. I've got diabetes. I've got asthma. I've got osteoporosis. I can't get health insurance. Wrong. You can have a myriad of health problems and still get health insurance, depending. It may be table rated differently, but there is a policy out there that we can. I insured a guy who went to Iraq as a contractor in a combat zone through Lloyd's of London. So there's an insurance policy out there for just about anything you can think of, and it can be purchased if you want to buy it. Yes?
Yes, we deal with many life insurance companies, and we know which companies to use for what kind of health situation.
This was Lloyd's of London.
Yeah. And so they're table rated. Some companies are better for certain health conditions than others, and we just have been around. We know the market. We know the companies. If somebody has a health problem, we know where to go. And there's table ratings on insurance, usually from preferred to standard, and then they're going to have tables. Table 1 to table 8, and most people can get life insurance. We just have to look at what company, what are the options, will they be table rated, but most people are able to get some form of life insurance.
Yeah, and get something in place. If you want to get something in place, like I said, this young man, he was a computer analyst, but he was at fire bases setting up computer analytics around Iraq, and he has 7 children. Okay, and we that was one of the most challenging cases I've ever done. Lloyd's of London. We did through Peterson Insurance, Lloyd's of London. You know who Peterson is? They do specialty type deals. We set up a policy for $1 million because if he got killed, he wanted to make sure his children, his wife he had a life insurance policy, but this was a special life insurance policy that dealt with a combat situation. So it was completely different because a lot of life insurance policies exclude that specifically. So in this case, we had it specifically so if that did happen, he had coverage in place.
Yeah, and a lot of times we can do what I call informal inquiries, and we can send some basic information to the insurance company, and they give us a view of what they think, and we can kind of screen it to see how it will look. And so we have all sorts of methods to be able to, see what we can do for our clients with people with health problems.
Yeah, and it's a little different, ladies and gentlemen, than picking up a phone and calling some call center, in California or wherever it may be. This is why I said in the other segment, somebody to sit down with you, discuss it with you, explain it to you, and then show you, what, you've got these health issues, maybe Banner Life, maybe Genworth, maybe Transamerica, whoever it may be. You may find that in this particular situation, you're a 50-year-old female with osteoporosis, maybe this carrier doesn't view that the same way another carrier does. And it may make a rate difference or a premium difference. Or it may make an option difference depending on what you want to do. If you want something and has a guaranteed issue whole life policy available at the end of the time, or you can convert any time, that may be part of the equation, yes?
Yes. And getting the coverage when you're young.
Well, that's an interesting one because a lot of young people just walk away from this and talk about that one.
Yeah, it's when you get insurance, life insurance, most young people will get it preferred, which means they're going to get the lowest rate possible. Once they get that coverage, it cannot be changed. If they develop health problems later on, they're in charge.
So as I always say, your health is an asset, Tom. Correct? If you're healthy, your health is an asset. Use the asset to help lower the price that you're going to pay for the health insurance.
Exactly. If you get it at age 25, you get it preferred, age 35, you develop diabetes, you're in charge, not the insurance company. You want to be in charge of your insurance, and it also applies to having your own insurance, not having relying on the insurance to work. Be in control. You get it when you're young, healthy. They can't change it. I have a daughter who is 27, just got married a little bit ago.
Yes, and you paid for the wedding.
Yeah.
I remember that distinctly.
And she developed a health problem about a year ago, and she's insurable, but she would be rated at this point. She'd be rated. So, and she's only 26 years old.
Yeah, so it can happen to anybody. And that's the issue. So if you're young and you're healthy, you buy the life insurance policy, and you do it now, because now's the time.
Exactly.
And it's never going to get any cheaper. So you buy it if you're young and healthy. Use that as an asset. Thank you for doing this today. I think this is really helpful to our audience.
Oh, well, thank you.
He is Tom Rome. He's our in-house expert. If you want help with life insurance, term, whole life, key man, buy-sell agreements, any of this stuff, Tom's an expert. I mean, he really is, and he can help you. Give us a call. We're happy to help you. 877-385-2224, 877-385-2224, anywhere in the country, or go to the website and send us an email, americashealthcareadvocate.com, americashealthcareadvocate.com. By the way, if you want, maybe you want to tell your husband about this, or maybe you want to tell your wife, it's online. The show is posted at the website, americashealthcareadvocate.com. It'll be our show. We featured Tom Rome on life insurance. If you want them to listen to it or tell someone about it, that's a great opportunity to go do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now I leave you with this thought from Albert Einstein. There are only two ways to live your life. One is though nothing is a miracle. The other is if everything is. Remember, friends, it's a funny thing about life. If you refuse to accept anything but the very best, you most often get it. Thank you for listening to America's Healthcare Advocate Show, broadcasting here on the HIA Radio Network, coast to coast across the United States. Don't forget that website, americashealthcareadvocate.com. All of our shows are posted up there. If you have questions, you can send us an email, or you can call the phone number, 877-385-2224. Thank you again for listening. We'll be back next week with another edition of America's Healthcare Advocate. Goodbye, America.
In the door because I was already 17 years ahead and training and everything as anybody who's already graduated.
Yeah.
So they allowed me to be a primary care physician the day I walked in. Obviously under supervision because I was an advanced standing student. And I began to use my veterinary training on my human patients. Because we always gave all 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids. And the medical system, whether it's medical doctors, DOs, naturopathic doctors, chiropractors, they always kind of try to cherry pick. Well, you need more vitamin C, so I'll give you 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C. They're assuming you're getting everything else in the food. Well, in veterinary medicine, we do it the opposite. We'll give the animals everything they need according to their body weight perfectly, all 90, and whatever they get from their food is value added. We do not pen. We treat them nutritionally as if they had nothing in their food. And that's what paid off.
Interesting.
It's a totally different philosophy.
Yeah, right.
And so it worked. And of course, we have prepackaged programs for over 900 different diseases. That's one of the things that makes longevity different. Instead of cherry picking, well, you need more vitamin D, we're going to test you for that. We give optimal amounts of everything. And then again, if you're getting anything from your food, that we consider that value added. We don't cut back on anything. You can't overdose. You can't afford to overdose. You have to, take 60 bottles a day of stuff. Nobody's going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is all of the products come from plant-derived minerals.
Well, they all have it.
They all have the plant-derived minerals.
Plant-derived minerals are the core of everything we do. For instance, that we have a book called Rare Earths of Incures that goes into the difference between suspensions and solutions and colloidal minerals and versus inorganic minerals, and because people have to understand this and have family meetings and understand why you need to do this instead of that and so on. And because it's a totally different concept compared to what they were taught, this is worthy of a family meeting every week because it's going to add 25 to 50 healthy years to people's lives. It gets people off of medication.
Yeah.
For instance, the diseases that bankrupt us, and in fact, this, Pam, that the cause of bankruptcy in 85% of Americans who go personally bankrupt is medical bills.
Right, exactly.
And so insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So if you keep doing the same thing, even if you're spending more money or less money, but you're doing the same thing, you can't expect really to make much progress.
Right.
And this is why what we do is so exciting, because we can take somebody who's been a diabetic for 30 years, type 2 diabetic for 30 years, they've had their legs amputated, they're going blind, they're getting all the cardiovascular complications of diabetes, because these people don't have 5 years left. It looks pretty ugly here. And we get them on our program, and in 30 days, their doctor takes them off all their medication and says, I don't know why, but you don't have diabetes anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. And we do have a free health evaluation that you can obtain by just emailing me at beyoungclubpam.com@gmail.com. And on that health evaluation, you can answer certain questions that will determine just exactly what it is that you would need, is whether it's for soft tissue, hard tissue. There's 4 different ones on there that it would determine which Healthy Start Pack or 90 for Life with added products that you would need. But the 90 for Life is the basic program. Yeah, how long do you take it, Doc? Yeah, you take it for life. So it's a very exciting program. One of the other things that I remember you saying at the meeting, the very first time that I heard you speak, I did have your tape from 20 years ago, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, mind you, which is interesting, and then came around Beyond Organic, joined Youngevity, and that's where I was with Beyond Organic before we went with Youngevity. But anyway, the first time I heard you speak here in Minneapolis, you said that people ask you why you do what you do by traveling. I mean, and you're in an airplane more than you're on the ground.
Right, well, Pam, people ask me, where do you live? And I said,
in the airplane. I know people ask me where you live too, and I say in the airplane. I mean, the guy is never home. So, but anyway, he said when he gets asked that, he said, "Listen, folks, we are in a war for our health, and we are. We really being healthy and being young takes work." But it's worth it. It takes a strong mindset. It takes investment. But that investment is worth it as well, because by investing in our health and in good supplements, that will prevent a lot of doctor bills. So.
Yeah, and of course, I like to give an example, Pam. You go to a doctor and you say, "Look, I've got 14 diseases here. You got me on 12 different drugs. I'm seeing 3 different specialists. I'm not feeling really good. And so what do we expect here?"
Let's answer that after the break. We'll be back shortly. If you're interested in joining the team, go to beyoungclub.com and you will find links there to membership and or the Healthy Start Packs and other products. We'll be back after the break.
There is an affordable alternative to the high cost of healthcare that offers freedom from insurance while providing compliance with the Obamacare individual mandate. Imagine having access to quality, affordable healthcare that allows you the freedom to choose your doctor and hospital. Members can share up to 100% of necessary medical expenses, including some alternative treatments. Find out how you and your family can contain healthcare costs without giving up your freedom. Go to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
You know about RVs, you've heard about bunkers, but surviving is not recreation, and man wasn't made to live underground. Introducing Survivalist Camps, the ultimate fully functional off-the-grid survival bug-out house that's mobile, well-equipped, and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Go to survivalistcamps.com to learn more. That's survivalistcamps.com, providing your basic needs to survive. Survivalistcamps.com. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Hi, this is Sophie Winnick, longtime distributor and user of Youngevity products. In the last few years, my family went through a crisis. Everything else in my life, including my business, had to be put on the back burner. Thankfully, life is getting back to normal now. But the one thing I never had to worry about was my business and my monthly commission. I've been a distributor for Youngevity for over 17 years, since before it was Youngevity. And I've got to say, the most amazing thing about this company is the people. While my family was in crisis, other distributors stepped in and helped my customers, simply because that's what Youngevity people do, even for people they don't know. For me, it has never been about getting rich. It was about a product I could stand behind, a company I could count on, and a monthly commission check that has never, not once, been late in 17 years. Youngevity is truly a business for everyone, even people who have too much to do. I'm Sophie Winnick. I'm just like you. I have a real life, real ups and downs, but I know I will always have Youngevity.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-990-1243. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by pot belly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-990-1243. That's 1-800-990-1243. 1-800-990-1243.
And we're back on the Be Young Club with Dr. Wallach. He was just beginning to talk with us about the 90 for Life and the investment and wisdom of taking that product. And so I'm going to let him continue on that strain.
Okay, well, thank you, Pam. And you have to remember that the medical systems had thousands of failed medical theories every century since 5,000 years ago in the days of the pharaohs. Even yet today in the 20th and 21st century, they have thousands of failed medical theories. I'll give you an example here and why we have to invest in ourselves and our time and our families and our health. Let's say you go to a mechanic. Well, let's start with a doctor. Let's go to the doctor.
Okay.
You say, okay, doctor, I'm eating well. I mean, I'm spending at home, I'm spending $25 a meal. I'm importing food from the healthiest places on earth. Everybody's bragging about how long these people live. I'm importing everything. And I'm spending more money for food than anybody else. I'm eating great varieties of food. I'm getting plenty of fresh vegetables and greens and everything. Mm-hmm. But I still have all these problems. They're not getting better. I'm getting new problems all the time. What is going on here? And the doctor will say, well, just you're eating well, but I want you to eat more. Or I may have to have you come in. I'll give you an injection of vitamin C or B12 once a month or something like that. Very typical of a doctor's response to those things. Yep. Well, shouldn't I be taking a supplement? No, just eat well. You're going to get everything you need. Well, people say, oh, okay, and you come in for your B12 shot once a month. You're still not feeling like you should, and you're getting new diseases because he didn't hit it right. And so then what would you say if you went to your mechanic, you said, I just bought this new car and I just washed it. It's beautiful. It's a Lamborghini. I mean, this is a $250,000 car, and I really want to take good care of it. Shouldn't I be putting the highest quality 6 quarts of oil in this V8 in this Lamborghini car? Shouldn't I be putting the highest quality oil in here? And the doctor and the mechanic would say, nah, you're just wasting your time and money. Instead of spending, say, $12 every 3,000 miles to put new oil in there, I'll get you 6 quarts of dirt from Texas for 25 cents a quart. And there's bound to be some oil in that dirt from Texas because everybody knows there's oil in Texas. So why don't you put some Texas dirt in your car instead of oil? You'll get the oil. That's how absurd it is for a doctor to say just eat well, you're going to get everything you need.
Yeah.
It's the same absurdity level. And so whenever a doctor says that, you say, well, I'm going to excuse myself right now, doctor. I'm going to send you my notice of termination of your services. You're not going to be my doctor anymore. If everybody would do that, they'll soon get the message.
Right.
Everybody says, oh, okay, I'll come in for my B12 shot. I'll let you, for $250, I'll let you infuse 10 milligrams of vitamin B or vitamin C into my veins once a week. come sit here in this stupid chair of yours. You give me an IV for vitamin C and charge me $200 to my insurance program, and I'm still going to die at the same age. So what's going on here? That's because he should say, well, you need the 90 essential nutrients. Whatever you get from your food will be value added, as opposed to being everything. You cannot get it from your food because we don't use wood for fuel anymore.
Right.
And so you're not getting the minerals you used to get. And these third world countries are getting the minerals from the wood ashes because they're still using wood for fuel. All the industrialized nations use electricity. We're not getting any nutrition in our food anymore.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. You know, I was just blown away when we had somebody that was a part of the group who he came from Cambodia. Cambodia? No, it was someplace in Africa. Anyway, it was a third world country. And he never had any problems with his health. And he came to America, and after he'd been here for 1.5 years, 2 years, he started having serious stomach issues and had to go gluten-free. And that was just amazing to me. When I look at our country and we have everything at our fingertips, and we should be the healthiest group of people in the world.
Because we have the most technology, we have the highest paid doctors. I wouldn't call them the best doctors in the world, but let's say the highest paid doctors in the world. And I was fascinated because I always used to, I played sports in high school and university, and so I was always fascinated with the Olympics. And I always wondered why the winners of the marathons were always Ethiopians who were 5'6", skinny little guys, didn't weigh 120 pounds.
Exactly.
And they're running against our guys who are 6'5". Their legs were taller than these little guys.
Yeah.
And our guys are coming in 20th and 30th, and the little Ethiopians are coming in first.
Yeah.
Well, when I realized they're still using wood for fuel, they're still putting the wood ashes in their gardens, and they're getting the minerals. Our big, tall guys are getting nothing in their food except calories.
That's amazing. Yeah. Right. Well, I have some questions here that I've gotten from some of our listeners. And so the first one that I'm going to ask you about is what causes weeping eyes and what can be done for it?
It's very easy, actually.
That's a real common,
it's very
common disease.
And it can be in kids, it can be in adults. We were just sitting there talking to somebody and tears are running down your face. Are you crying? No, I'm not crying. Just tears running down my face all the time. Okay? And when you examine these people, you rub your hands on the back of their arms. The back of their arms are like sandpaper. It's called keratosis. Keratosis. Sometimes they have it on their thighs and their bottoms, but certainly on the backs of their arms. That's when I meet little kids. You know, they're 4, 5, 6 years old, or even 6 months old, and they have problems. The first thing I do is rub the back of their arms, so I find out if they have keratosis, if the skin is rough behind their arms. And that's caused by a vitamin A deficiency. Now, if you give them vitamin A, it won't go away. The same thing causes tearing, crying of the eyes, even though you're not crying, whether you're 6 months old, 5 years old, 10 years old, 25 years old, or 70 years old, doesn't matter. This is caused by a vitamin A deficiency. You get keratosis, you get that same rough skin inside the tube that goes from your eye into your nose and carries, it's called the nasal lacrimal duct that carries the tears from your eyes into your nose. It gets plugged with that stuff that makes the rough skin on the back of your arms. It gets
plugged with the keratosis.
Yeah.
Oh,
interesting. And so what you got to do is get them off of gluten. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. That includes the dog food, the cat food, the bird food, the fish food, spouse, mother-in-law, partner, renter, everybody in the household. And they can't work for a restaurant. They can't work for a bakery or anything like that. No Panera bread, no spaghetti factory. They got to stay away from all those places. And dry dog food and dry cat food are a common place where people run into. I don't eat it. Yeah, but you're feeding them and the dust is all over you.
Oh, sure.
And it gets on your clothes, and then you sleep in your pajamas, that's covered in this gluten dust and everything. You got to be really careful. We actually have a CD called Serial Killer. It goes into all the hidden places you find gluten. So, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten. Get them on the 90 essential nutrients. For me, the 90 essential nutrients is the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight when you have a serious problem. And you just kind of monitor things. You can tell by feeling the back of their arms if it's the rough skin's getting better. And instead of just tears running down all day, it might run for 15 minutes once or twice a day, and then after a month or so, it stops running because everything's healed.
Great.
Yeah, your genes, DNA, RNA, and telomeres want to heal you, but they require the stuff. Now, when you go to a doctor and you have tearing, first thing you want to do is surgery.
Surgery, yeah.
And they want to take this little wire bristle brush and run it up and down inside that tube and break off all that keratosis stuff that makes the back of your arms rough.
Interesting.
But it'll keep coming back because they haven't solved the problem.
Right. Okay. Great. You mentioned foods that we should not have, and I have on my website the good food, bad food list.
Excellent.
And
Thank you.
I suggest that as listeners you check that out at beyoungclub.com. The next one, and I know we're not going to get through this whole thing on this, so we may have to take a break, and that is ringing in the ears, which is a real common thing too.
Well, ringing in the ears is also called tinnitus. Okay, it's actually a squeezing of the 8th cranial nerve, the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve, when you have osteoporosis of the skull. And medical doctors never tell people that they get osteoporosis of the skull and the jaw, just like they do the legs and the ribs and the pelvis and the vertebrae. And when you have osteoporosis of any bones, they actually become bigger. They get bigger in circumference, they get bigger in diameter, and that's because the bone matrix is propagating, trying to attract more minerals that come back to the bones. And what happens is these canals that the cranial nerves come through from the brain through those canals to the point of action get filled up with this keratosis, and it squeezes the nerve.
Yeah.
And it's reversible, and we can deal with it when we come back.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to break into that, but we do have to take a break here. We'll be back right after just a couple minutes here.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA-packed technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon. Or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
My computer is so slow, it's making me crazy. I used to have that problem. Did you quit using the computer, or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks on Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks on Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you're having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks on Site. 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis. 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks on Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682. 1-800-591-1682.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Poleski of the Poleski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Injury Help Desk is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention prescription antibiotic drug users. Have you or a loved one suffered an aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm after taking the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox? These popular antibiotic drugs have been prescribed more than 80 million times since 2004, and medical studies show an increased risk of the following injuries: aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm,
and abdominal aortic aneurysm. If you or a loved one used the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Evolox and suffered from aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Welcome back to the Be Young Club. As we left for the break, Doc Wallach was just talking about what causes ringing in the ears, and he was about to tell us what we need to do about it. So, go ahead, Doc.
Pam, the basic underlying cause is osteoporosis of the skull. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a signal. You got osteoporosis in all your other bones, so you really need to do something systemically, which will resolve the ringing in the ears, aka tinnitus.
Uh-huh.
Okay, oftentimes people also get vertigo with it, and they feel like a little motion sickness thing.
Mm-hmm.
They might even have a little nausea, and when they wake up in the morning, they stand up, and I better sit on the bed for a minute here, kind of thing. That's caused by squeezing of the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve as it comes out through that tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay. And same thing when you get Bell's palsy. When you get Bell's palsy, squeezing of the seventh cranial nerve that comes through the skull. Okay. A trigeminal neuralgia, squeezing of the fifth cranial nerve. And when you get old, you start talking like this.
Oh.
You're squeezing the ninth cranial nerve called the glossopharyngeal nerve, which controls your vocal cords.
Wow.
It's all due to osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, so we like to give, again, the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids to support the genes, the DNA, the RNA, and the telomeres desire to want to heal you. They require all this stuff to do it. Mm-hmm. And I like to use what we call the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. It contains 245 nutrients in it, and it's designed to support, again, the genes, DNA, RNA, and telomeres in their job of maintenance and repair. And we also, in the case of tinnitus or ringing in the ears, get the CM cream. It's a wide mouth jar of a topical pain reliever and anti-inflammatory. And every morning when you wake up, in addition to the other things we've already talked about here, right? The Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. And I would also get the what we call glucogel and throw that in there. 2 bottles a month, whether you weigh 100 pounds or 300 pounds, I get 2 bottles a month. Take 15 a day. That's to support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae and the bone matrix, which is what's actually putting pressure on that eighth cranial nerve. But I would get the CM cream. It's a wide mouth jar, and put a quarter of a teaspoon to a half a teaspoon down in each ear when you wake up in the morning with a Q-tip, like you're trying to get wax out of your ear.
Okay.
And then 3 o'clock in the afternoon, do it again. And I've had people who had tinnitus ringing in the ears for 25 years. It was so loud they had to take sleeping medicine to get to sleep at night.
Oh, wow.
And in 10 minutes time of putting that CM cream in there, nothing else, so we were just kind of at a party. I had some CM cream and put it down in her ear. And she was 80-something years old, 83, I think. Came back, and 10 minutes later, she's jumping up and down like somebody gave her a hot flash. Are you all right? She says, it went away. I said, what do you mean? That ringing in the ears went away.
Oh, my
First time in 25 years.
Oh.
And, of course, he'll come back in 3 to 5 hours because it's just a temporary relief. But as you use the 90 essential nutrients to support and promote maintenance repair through the genes and DNA, RNA, and telomeres, after a couple of months, you won't need that CM cream in the ear anymore because it's all healed.
Wow. Wow, that's great information. There's a couple of other, time is going so fast here, and I had a couple other things I want to get in.
That's what the books and the CDs are for.
Yeah.
You have to invest in training. And of course, if they do the longevity business as a business, the book investment is a tax-deductible thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I got the Let's Play Doctor, and that's really fun to go through. Anyway, the things you mentioned about the bone and joint and the CM cream and glucogels and stuff, I'm thinking that's going to apply to rotator cuff as well.
Absolutely.
One of the things I would like you to explain, because you explained this to me in person, and it just meant so much to me to learn this, that how our EFAs are filled. So that's our omega-3 fatty acid capsules, the EFAs, and I'm going to have Doc explain that to you.
Okay, what makes ours different, because the omega-3s are a two-edged sword. They can kill you, or they can heal you, or they can prevent disease.
Right.
And that's because they're oils, and they do oxidize and turn into trans fats. Like, for instance, if you're taking, people say, I give myself flaxseed oil every day. Well, do you take it in bulk jars? Oh, yeah, it's cheaper to be in the bulk jars. And you just pour a tablespoon and glug a couple of tablespoons of that down. Well, when they put it in that bottle, it was oxidized already, turned into trans fats, heterocyclamines, acrylamides, most inflammatory things. They increase your risk of many different types of cancers. They cause inflammation in your arteries, and your arteries respond by making scar tissue, which is the plaque. It's not cholesterol that clogs in your arteries. It's the scar tissue that results from eating trans fats, like microwave popcorn, like theater popcorn, margarines, mayonnaise, salad dressing, cooking oils, and bulk oils that you're looking to use for, whether it's fish oils or flaxseed oil or evening primrose oil or whatever it might be. And so what we do, we fill ours differently. When we squeeze the oil out of the seeds, or the fish, whatever it is, it's in a very cold room that human beings aren't in, and we flush nitrogen through the capsules before we fill them, and they're sealed. And then we flush the air out of the bottles and seal it when it's full of nitrogen, so these capsules will not oxidize and turn into trans fats, heterocyclamines, and acrylamides. And if you take them, and put the top on real well and put them in the refrigerator, they'll be safe. But the bulk oils are very dangerous, and most encapsulated omega-3s are dangerous because they're not packed in nitrogen, so they will oxidize and cause trans fats.
And ours are packed in nitrogen. That was really an eye-opener for me when you told me that.
We didn't want to kill our friends.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then can you quickly talk about the ketogenic diet that we have just started, and we have a promo pack on
weight loss is one of our big programs. So we deal with people who are 400, 600, 800 pounds. And being overweight and obese, Pam, is not due to lack of exercise and eating too much. It's actually nutritional deficiency.
Right.
And so we come at this two ways. Number one, we want to have a high-fat diet as opposed to a high-grain diet or a high-carbohydrate diet.
I tell people to eat an avocado a day.
Yeah. Well, I actually have a new CD coming out here pretty soon. It's, I think, all edited. We're just doing the cover design right now. It's called A Stick of Butter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away.
Yeah, hallelujah.
But the ketogenic, the keto caramel shake we have the keto caramel bar. These are wonderful. They're kind of high-fat meal replacers, and we can't keep them in. Oh, high protein. I mean, these things as soon as, and we keep every month we're doubling the orders of our what we get for the warehouse, and it's gone before it gets there. So we're having to quadruple the orders.
Yeah.
And that's in addition to our healthy weight loss pack, which has a secret sauce in there we call ASAP, which is an acronym for as slim as possible and as soon as possible. You put a dropper full of that under your tongue 30 minutes for each meal, and you'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day, very healthily. You don't need any surgery if you need to lose 200 pounds. You don't need any gastric bypass. You won't need to tuck up your skin or anything like that. It's all taken care of nutritionally. And you'll never gain the weight back. That's the magic. You'll never gain the weight back as long as you stay on the nutrition. The reason why people work so hard and they lose weight and then they gain it all back, they never dealt with the nutritional deficiency piece.
Yeah.
You deal with the nutritional deficiency piece and you stay on the nutrients. You supplement with your 90, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids. You'll never gain the weight back.
Yeah.
And it's all the detail, all the science is in the book called Hell's Kitchen. And there's a CD that comes along with it by the same title, Hell's Kitchen.
Wow.
The subtitle is The Cause, Prevention, and Cure of Obesity. It also discusses type 2 diabetes and the metabolic syndrome. No other company out there, hospitals, doctors, obesity clinics, bariatric surgeon doctors, they have no earthly idea what causes obesity. They still say you need to exercise more and eat less.
Yeah.
They're so way out in the ozone.
Yeah, that is so interesting. Anyway, so go to the Be Young Club website, beyoungclub.com, and check out the good food, bad food list. And you'll find some recipes there, too, using Thousand Hills Lifetime Graze grass-fed beef. It's my choice. It's wonderful. It is also the choice of our latest native Minnesotan that won the first women's triathlon gold medal in the Olympics, and she eats Thousand Hills beef. I love it. It's my choice, and I hope it will become yours too. Again, if you're interested in receiving a free health evaluation, please easy for me to say. Please email me at beyoungclubpam@gmail.com. We'd love to have you join the Be Young Club because you know you can get better as you get older, and we all want to live to our full health potential regardless of our age. If you'd like to join the club, go to beyoungclub.com or send an email to beyoungclubpam@gmail.com. You can also participate in the Be Young Club by sending us health-related questions that we will respond to on future shows. We've come to you today from the Thousand Hills Lifetime Graze Grass-Fed Beef Radio Studio. So tune in to the Be Young Club radio show every Saturday at 4 p.m. Central. Again, email us your questions to beyoungclubpam@gmail.com. And Doc, I cannot thank you enough for being here today. This has just been a real privilege for me to sit across the table from you and have a conversation. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you so much, Pam. You're very, very sweet and very kind. Thank you. And I think the Be Young Club, that was the most fabulous idea anybody's ever had. Everybody join Pam and the Be Young Club.
And be young.
Yeah, we'll be young together.
Yep, the choices we make every day can make tomorrow better than today.
Hi, my name is Scott Fuchs, teacher and rowing coach for over 14 years. I was sluggish, overweight, on prescription drugs, and only 30-something. Fortunately, I was referred to Dr. Z, and happy to say Dr. Z's all-natural protocols over a consistent course resolved my health issues. I'm in the best shape of my life, and most importantly, on 0 medications.
I'm Dr. Stanowski, author of Evology, trained as a primary care physician, surgical manipulation under anesthesia, expert in nutrition, diet, weight loss, immune system, and I specialize in chiropractic. My 15 years of professional experience has taught me the 4 keys to vibrant health: a balanced musculoskeletal system, an integrated nervous system, a flowing lymphatic system, and a body filled with over 90 essential nutrients. This has been a secret too long. Actualize your potential, reverse disease. Call me, Dr. Z.
Life is like a battlefield. There's a battle for the soul of America. We can't let him tear the kingdom down. This is no game. This is war. Flesh and blood. It's between the bad and good. We can't stop until the trumpet sound. This is war. Not a game we're playing. This is war. The only question is, which side will you be on? It's time now for a call to decision with Pastor Butch Paul. Satan's armies come to kill. This is war.
Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Pastor Butch Paul, the ninth day of September 2016. It is Friday. You know, we're just a couple days away from the 15th anniversary of 9/11. Hard to believe, been a long ago. I mean, it isn't hard to believe. Think about that. How fast that went by. My goodness, but anyway, that's not our topic tonight. If you want to talk about that, you can. It's open line Friday. If you want to talk about your program tonight, at
855. Dr. Bob. Let's go first to Perry. Perry is calling from Hot Springs. Is it Hot Springs, Arkansas, Perry?
It is Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's beautiful here today.
And welcome.
Thank you. I have a compliment for you and then a question. I was listening to your program one Sunday morning with my son as I was getting ready for church, and he heard you say that you give lecithin to children who have OCD.
Yes,
So
obsessive compulsive disease. Let's make sure everybody knows what that is.
Disorder, yes.
Yeah.
Obsessive compulsive disorder, and he said, Mom, can you give me some of that today? And I did, and he has been using it for probably close to a year now, with much greater success than any medicine that he was ever given. He is not so paranoid now as he was. He is able to leave his house, and so with all of that being said, my question is, if you have come up with anything else that we can use to help him, because he still has enough of the symptoms to be unable to work normally, and so if you can give us any other suggestions.
Absolutely, I'd love to. Yes, I've worked with many people, both adults and children, who have had obsessive compulsive disorder over the years, and it's a brain disorder, and there's all kinds of different manifestations of it. But it's paranoia, people become recluse, all kinds of symptoms with it. Some mild, some moderate, some severe, and we've had good success using lecithin at high dose. Which is derived usually from soybean. We've had good success using something also called inositol. I've also used, because we find that people with obsessive compulsive disorder, they have a problem with what is called methylation. And usually with that just means that their liver is not working correctly, and over time they will develop a deficiency of certain nutrients, including vitamin B12, folic acid, and vitamin B6. And we find that when we blood test them, they have elevated levels of homocysteine. That's an amino acid that when it's elevated in the bloodstream, it causes damage to the blood vessels, and it increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. So how old is he, Perry?
He's 30 now.
Okay, he needs to be tested for homocysteine. That's a blood test. It's a very simple blood test. I would test for that, and if that level of his homocysteine is higher than 5, he needs to be supplemented with vitamin B12 in a form called methylcobalamin, along with concurrent levels of vitamin B6, folic acid. A good B complex would be important to take, but he'll need to take vitamin B12 sublingually outside of that in the form of methylcobalamin at about 5 milligrams 2 to 3 times a day. And that'll knock the homocysteine down. That reduces the inflammation in his brain, which OCD patients have, and their brain and their blood vessels everywhere, and that's part of the disorder. So helping him to better methylate, and I won't get into what that means, but it just has to do with the way your liver works and the way we process certain nutrients and that. He needs to look at that process. So I'm glad to hear that the recommendation for the lecithin helped him. Take a look at additional amounts of inositol. GABA works to modulate brain chemistry, GABA aminobenzoic acid. Sometimes we use an amino acid called theanine. Theanine, these are all available in health food stores. There's no adverse side effects from them at all compared to the drugs that are often prescribed for people who have these obsessive compulsive disorders. The drugs have horrendous side effects, and they don't work. They just don't work. And here this nutritional information has been out there. I learned this, 20 years ago or something, and have helped so many people with these kinds of disorders when help wasn't even available. So, and yet mainstream medicine can't make a buck off of it, so they're not going to recommend it. They're not going to look at it. They're not going to look at their own literature. One last thing, Bach flowers. Look into Bach flower remedies. Also have been of great benefit to people with these kinds of disorders. Well, Perry, thank you for calling and bringing me up to speed on this.
My computer computer is so slow, it's making me crazy.
I used to have that problem.
Did you quit using the computer, or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks On Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks On Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you're having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks On Site. 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis. 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks On Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682. 1-800-591-1682.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
All right, listen up, because this is the most important thing you're going to hear all day. What if I said you could make money flipping houses without any cash, credit, or manual labor? And what if I said you could do it part-time from the comfort of your home? Sound unflippin' believable? Hi, I'm Preston Neely, and I'm going to prove it by sending you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It sells online for $19.95, but I'm giving away free copies this week. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-959-5795. I used to be so broke, I had my electricity shut off 9 times, but I figured out a simple way to make money flipping houses without even breaking a sweat. Now I'm living the good life, and so should you. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. Hands down, it's the fastest, easiest way to get started in real estate. Let me prove it. Call right now to find out how to get your free book. When they're gone, they're gone. Call 1-800-959-5795. 1-800-959-5795.
861-4936. That's 800-861-4936 or wisechoicemedicine.com.
Are you waiting on a lightning strike? This half hour of the Dr. Bob Martin Show is sponsored by Nutritional Testing Services. You can order at-home tests for mineral deficiency, toxic metals, saliva hormone tests, digestive tests, thyroid tests, and more by calling 1-800-606-8822. That's 1-800-606-8822.
What are you waiting for? You know it or not, you're in a healing zone right now wherein people tune in each week to learn about the latest news about health and wellness, and most importantly, how to get healthy and stay healthy naturally. Welcome back to this hour of the Dr. Bob Martin Show. You are strongly invited to become independently healthy as opposed to dependently sick. This is your opportunity to resurrect your good health safely and naturally. All you have to do is go to your telephone and call Dr. Bob and tell me where it hurts. Here's the number into the show. Open line health questions. From erectile dysfunction to eczema, shingles to sinusitis, carpal tunnel to the common cold, warts to wrinkles, and all points in between, the only bad health question is the one you're not asking. We can talk about your health. Here's the number, 1-888-553-7262. That's 888-55 Dr. Bob, 1-888-553-7262. We'll get back to calls and questions and a lot of news ahead of us in just a little bit. First this, however.
Ask yourself the following question. Can you honestly say that today your hair is fuller, thicker, and stronger than it was, let's say, a year ago or a year before that? Are you starting to notice that you're able to see the scalp, your scalp, more readily when you look in the mirror, when you comb your hair? You're starting to notice perhaps some thinning of your hair or some receding hairline, or maybe you just notice more hair in your comb or brush or on the bottom of the sink or the shower. If you're interested in a stronger, healthier, and fuller head of hair, please look into something called Provia. Provia is an all-natural thinning therapy, hair thinning therapy, that can help with all of this and more. Here's what Tom says from the state of Arizona, and I quote, he's a user of Provia. I have been using Provia for 2 months, and the results are amazing. I've been seeing my hair grow back in, and it comes in thicker every day. Absolutely wonderful. Even my wife comments on how great I look. End quote. This is a good testimonial from an individual who's very happy with the results he's getting from Provia. Provia attacks the 3 main reasons for thinning hair, and it reactivates your aging hair follicles. That's how it works. You will get compliments guaranteed, or you get your money back. Period. Provia works on both men and women, and it's safe for colored and treated hair. You can call right now and order Provia and get started at your hair getting thicker, stronger, and fuller. 1-800-525-6916. 800-525-6916 for Provia. Order Provia today and receive the brand new Provia Super Concentrate for faster, more noticeable results. That's absolutely free with your order today. 800-525-6916. Last time, 1-800-525-6916 for Provia. All right, let's return back to our open line callers on the topic of health. You can join us, too, when you hear somebody get on the air and hang up. Our number again into the program, toll-free, 1-888-553-7262. Next up on the phone is Elizabeth from Rancho Mirage, California. Welcome to the program, Elizabeth. Hello.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm calling on behalf of a friend who was in extreme pain, rushed to the ER, diagnosed with gallstones, and of course the next thing his doctor is hustling him into surgery. I would appreciate a concise explanation that I can give him as to why he mustn't have his gallbladder removed, and the protocol that I can recommend to him to eliminate them and help him avoid the surgery.
Well, every organ and every tissue in the human body is supposed to be there for a very good reason. The gallbladder is no exception to the rule, even though you can live without a gallbladder. You can't live without your heart. You can't live without your liver. But you can live without a gallbladder, but it's, our Creator wanted a gallbladder to be there for an entire lifetime. And when it's malfunctioning, there are good reasons why it malfunctions. Usually it's because of exposure to saturated fat and sugar in the diet. That's what creates gallstones. And a person who is genetically susceptible to developing gallstones, first it begins with sludge, and then they turn into stone, and it eventually causes pain and obstruction, and it can get sick enough. The gallbladder problem can keep going enough because a person, continues to ignore symptoms of belching and burning and bloating and indigestion and nausea, whatever it may be, or back pain, and they don't get properly diagnosed, and then finally they end up in a crisis situation, and sometimes gallbladders do need to come out. However, most of them are completely savable and can be, but it needs to be done under supervision. You just can't do this, shooting from the hip. It has to be a healthcare provider who's familiar with gallbladder liver flushing, has to walk this person through and carefully monitor their results. Now, the gallbladder concentrates bile. It secretes or squirts bile acids and enzymes into the small intestine for the emulsification of fat. There's a lot of things it does that we may not even really understand, but it's there for a reason. And when you lose it, then you have an unabated stream of bile salts going into the small intestine when it doesn't need to be there 24/7, 365. And some people that have their gallbladders taken out end up with dumping syndrome and diarrhea and other problems. And it increases the risk of cancer to lose your gallbladder. It does. Even though it's small, the percentage is very small, you still increase your risk. So it gets back to, do some gallbladders need to come out because they're sick enough and obstructed enough? Yes. Do most? No. Most can be saved with a gallbladder liver flush, but it needs to be done under the supervision of a healthcare provider who's licensed, who understands this, and who is aware of what can go wrong, and it rarely does. I've supervised hundreds and hundreds of these gallbladder flushes. We used to have I tell this story all the time. We used to have a room, a closet in the back of our office where we had gallbladder stones that people had collected in jars. And whenever there was a skeptical person, usually a doctor, I would treat, or a nurse, that you can actually flush gallstones out. We'd take them back there and show them. Here they are. This saved thousands of dollars and people risk of having surgery, going under the knife, going under anesthesia, which has a mortality risk to it. So what do? Well, when in an acute situation like this, usually we have somebody fast, we have them on enzymes, and you need to find for this person a practitioner who can walk him through this very carefully if it's possible in his case. And that's still debatable. But that individual will find out whether he can or not. All right, Elizabeth, thank you for calling on his behalf. Appreciate that. Now we're coming back with more of your phone calls. Won't you join us? 1-888-553-7262. You're listening to the Dr. Bob Martin Show. This is Dr. Bob Martin. Sleeping through the night without having to urinate is normal and healthy, the way it should be. Unfortunately, some men over the age of 40 with prostate issues start urinating 2, 3, 4 or more times a night. This is abnormal. It's not healthy and it shouldn't happen. If you are getting up to urinate at night or have weak urinary stream or urgency to go while driving or sitting and feel you may soil yourself if you don't get to a bathroom fast, you need PT9. PT9 is an all-natural supplement developed by a pharmacist to help solve prostate challenges without having to resort to risky drugs or surgery. PT9 is guaranteed to work or you get your money back. Call now and order PT9 risk-free and get 3 free bottles of Heart Factors absolutely free just for trying PT9. Call toll-free 800-317-9863. That's 1-800-317-9863. PT9 800-317-9863. 800-317-9863.
Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor here, president of the Texas Organic Research Center. As you probably know, it's a toxic world out there, but we can do something about it. Become knowledgeable consumers and use products that are safe and healthy, such as natural supplements that help protect the body's cells from toxic exposure. One of my favorites is Reg Active with ME3, the only probiotic proven to actually produce glutathione in the body. It's the body's master antioxidant, unique in its ability to repair and rebuild cellular damage caused by free radicals and exposure to environmental toxins. Glutathione decreases as we age. Reg Active is great for rebuilding it, and I strongly recommend it.
Look for Reg Active at Whole Foods, Sprouts, and other fine health food stores nationwide where Dr. Ohhira's probiotics are sold. Revolutionary, remarkable, Reg Active.
Bags and puffiness under the eyes is an equal opportunity facial enemy. Genucell Plant Stem Cell Serum to the rescue. Genucell naturally and effectively targets the reasons for the unsightly puffiness and bags under the eyes. Due to a new clinical breakthrough, people notice results within 12 hours and dramatic results within as little as 2 weeks or your money back, no questions asked. Genucell contains 8 extra ingredients to reduce the appearance of bags and puffiness. Call now and try Genucell and say goodbye to bags and puffiness around your eyes.
800-543-6596. 800-543-6596. And it gets better, folks. You'll receive the legendary Esotique face cream free for just trying Genucel today. Call in the next 20 minutes and you'll also receive express free shipping. 800-543-6596. 1-800-543-6596. Order Genucel. 800-543-6596.
Listen to Dr. Bob's entire 3-hour show, live or podcast. Just go to Dr. Bob's webpage at drbob.com. Spell out doctor, that's D-O-C-T-O-R, bob.com.
All right, if you are just tuning into the program, we are in an open line conversation on the topic of health. You're invited to call into the show and get that answer to that question about your health that you seek. Here's the number into the program. 1-888-553-7262. I will do my very best to help you out with whatever question you have related to yourself or somebody else in your life that's having some type of a health problem. Call in right now, toll free, 1-888-55 Dr. Bob, that's D-R-B-O-B on your touch-tone phone, or 1-888-553-7262. And let's go back to the phones. The calls just keep on coming. Lori is next. She's calling in from McAllister, Oklahoma. Welcome to the program, Lori. Hello.
Okay, yes. Now, my bones have been cracking lately, literally from head to toe, and I'm wondering what that would be from.
Well, it's not normal to have, everybody's going to get some crackling or decrepitous noise when they move due to gravity and a number of things, stationary lifestyles. But if it's excessive, it usually means that the person is overly acidic. Their diet is overly acidic, which usually indicates that they're on an inflammatory standard American diet, which includes too much red meat, too much dairy food, too much sugar, too much caffeine, perhaps alcohol, too much vegetable oil, which is inflammatory, like soybean oil, cottonseed oil, safflower, sunflower. Those are the oils you need to pull back on. And fried foods, you need to pull back on that. Get on to more of a Mediterranean diet that's more balanced. We also find people who have cracking bones that are just when it's excessive, everybody's going to have a little bit of crepitus. And they usually have manganese deficiencies. This is a mineral that can be deficient, that can weaken the joints and the soft tissue in the joints. Manganese, and you don't need much of that. Usually a multi-mineral will do the job. Omega-3 fats will also help with these kinds of issues. So you want to increase omega-3 fats, meaning that you can go to the health food store and get a good omega-3 supplement. Take 3 to 4 grams of that a day on an empty stomach before eating. Usually it's like giving your body or giving your joints almost like a lube job so that they're not so achy-breaky. Vitamin C. Some people are deficient in vitamin C, which builds collagen. Collagen's sort of the mortar that puts the cells together. That can also be a problem. You can even take type 2 collagen supplements for tightening up the joints a little bit. So there's a lot of reasons behind it. It's not normal. It's not natural. Everybody has a little bit of it, but when it's head to toe and it's constant and chronic, you just have to realize that it's abnormal. And I'm glad you're looking into it. All right, Lori, thank you for your call. I wanted to get this article this hour about changing bed sheets. Now, I know some of you are just rolling out of bed, and some people are going to be grossed out by this, but that's just the way it goes. How often do you wash your sheets? That's the question. There's no better feeling than getting into bed with clean sheets, but many of us will probably admit we don't change them enough. Sleeping in a dirty linen can be far more sinister than just putting up with stinky sheets. And if you think that your sheets are not dirty after a week because you have white sheets, just try putting a black sheet one time on your bed. This is what one of my friends did, because he didn't believe that there was stuff rolling around in his bed after a week. He said, "Oh, no, I don't change my sheets at least for a month." And I said, "Oh, you're kidding me."
And I said, well, I'll tell you what, try, go out, buy some black sheets, and after a week, just take a look of the debris, the crusties that you're leaving in that bed. He did. It blew his mind. And now, of course, his schedule of changing his sheets is a lot different. During the sleep, we continue to perspire, so we're sweating into our sheets. We have body oils coming off our body into the sheets, and soil, and all kinds of other possibilities of saliva and urine and genital fluids and fecal matter and all kinds of fibers. I know this is getting a little too personal, but it's the way it is. Otherwise known as, some people call it descriptive terms. Crusties is a common one. If the sheets are not washed regularly, the occupant that's within those sheets or on that sheet, if you have a scratch or a cut or some type of wound or even a mosquito bite and you scratch it, these fluids, these substances, especially if you're rolling around in there with another individual, your partner or whatever, can become infected. You could have athlete's foot or some other fungal infection that can be transferred from the fabrics as well. Infrequent cleaning of sheets and pillowcases allows fluids to seep into the pillows and mattresses, and those are much more difficult to clean than tossing the sheets in the washer on a more frequent basis. Just something to consider, all right? But it seems that the public is reluctant to commit to regularly washing. A survey has revealed that 1 in 10 people don't change their sheets more than once a week. In a survey, 35% of adults said they change their bed linen once every 4th night, and just a third made sure to wash their sheets once a month. So it's all dependent on, but when you think about bed bugs, this is how bed bugs get generated. Dead skin cells, that's fuel, that's pizza for bed bugs, let's say. You want them out of there, you change the sheets more often, right? All right, so now you know. All right, stay right where you're at. We're coming right back. It's the Dr. Bob Martin Show. Can be painful, dangerous, and cost you much, and nobody ever believes they'll break a bone until they do. Fact is, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men will suffer from an osteoporotic fracture during their lifetime. Here's how you can avoid a bone fracture disaster. There now exists a safe, science-based, cost-effective bone-building formula designed to reduce your risk of developing osteoporosis, also known as brittle bone disease. It's called Healthful Bone. Healthful Bone is formulated with the latest nutritional science regarding vitamins K2, D3, methylfolate, boron, and the correct calcium to magnesium ratio. Unlike other bone formulas, Healthful Bone won't contribute to an increased risk of stroke and heart attack due to excessive calcium. So strengthen, protect, and lower your risk of fracturing a bone with Healthful Bone. Find Healthful Bone at finer health food stores or online at BuildBoneNow.com or call toll-free 855-888-2211. 855-888-2211. That's toll-free 855-888-2211.
Mom, can I have some Sprite?
Sure, honey.
Thanks, Mom.
You know what that is? That's the sound of my child thanking me for giving her something that's actually good for her teeth. Spry Gum is part of the Spry Dental Defense System, a complete line of oral care products made with 100% xylitol, the all-natural sweetener with proven dental benefits. So when we're at home, my whole family uses Spry toothpaste and mouthwash to help strengthen our teeth and reduce the risk of tooth decay. And when we're on the go, I just throw some Spry Gum and mints right into my bag. My kids love it, and I love that it's all natural. No sugar, no aspartame, or any other chemicals. Just think of that. I reward my kids for taking care of their teeth at home by giving them gum and mints on the go that are good for their teeth. Visit sprydental.com or ask for Spry by name at your local health food store. You can also ask your dentist about Spry and make sure your mouth is receiving all the benefits of 100% xylitol products.
At Whole Foods, Vitamin Shoppe, Sprouts, Kroger's, and all natural product retailers.
Are you happy washing your hands with harsh chemicals? Are you happy doing laundry with detergents? Are you happy paying high prices? Find your happiness with Pure Soap. These all-natural, earth-friendly Pure Soaps are the very best you've ever used. Buy in bulk. Get a 12, 36, or 48-month supply. Or get items individually and still save big. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. Earth-friendly and natural soaps. Your family deserves the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com. Why not put your money up the drain for a change? See them at 5starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog. Cal Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils. See their full selection of soaps at 5starsoap.com. That's F-I-V-E starsoap.com. Or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
3683.
Follow Dr. Bob on Twitter at drbob.com. Spell out doctor, that's D-O-C-T-O-R, bob.com.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to this hour of the Dr. Bob Martin Show. I want you to stick around because next hour we have some very interesting information to share with you. We're going to be talking about antidepressants. Now, everybody knows, or at least they should know, that taking them causes an increased risk of fracture. But wait until you hear what conventional medicine is recommending to counter that effect. It is classic. We'll have that coming up on the show. Stick around. Now, we know also, I do, based on sitting in a symposium a couple months back, that integrative medicine should be a part of all cancer care. And oncologists, even though they mean well and they're highly trained, they are lacking in nutritional knowledge. This is according to an oncologist, a very highly respected oncologist by the name of Dr. Gary Deng, MD, PhD, from Memorial Sloan Kettering Center. Knowing this, you should understand if you, God forbid, you have been diagnosed with cancer, or you do in the future, you get a diagnosis, or somebody you know has cancer, they deserve to know about America's premier center for alternative medicine. That would be Sunridge Medical Center. Sunridge Medical Center is an alternative medicine treatment center, an immune recovery facility that offers advanced, research-based alternative medicines that support care to patients suffering from a wide variety of serious conditions. We're talking about cancer, autoimmune diseases, fibromyalgia, Lyme disease. They see all the big and bad, and you can call them to find out if you qualify to become one of their patients. They see patients from all over the United States. You can check out their website at sunridgemedical.com, sunridgemedical.com, or call 1-800-923-7404. Sunridge Medical Center, 1-800-923-7404, or sunridgemedical.com on the internet. Check them out. They get fantastic results with leading-edge advanced alternative medical treatment. sunridgemedical.com or 1-800-923-7404. Now, don't go anywhere, because we have got a lot of information to share with you next hour. And if you're unable to get next hour of the show, you can roll over to my website at drbob.com. Spell out doctor, D-O-C-T-O-R, bob.com, on your iPhone, your Android, your tablet, your laptop, your desktop. You can hear the show live streaming audio right off my website at drbob.com. Don't miss a single hour of it. We're going to come back and we'll have more phone calls and questions. If you want,
nominee gets to a point, so Kane could see himself out of the picture, but I doubt it. If something happened to her, it'd probably be a Biden-Kane ticket. So, but yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, she's sick. She's sick, and not only psychologically but physically. But sometimes consequences are definitely come to you when you continue to pull the kind of tomfoolery she's done her whole life.
Yeah,
I appreciate the comment
about her or her foundation.
No, and we're going to talk a lot about that here in the bottom of the hour too. But appreciate you, Dave. Thanks, man. Have a good one. Let's go over to Bob in Las Vegas, listening on our flagship KDWN. Bob, welcome to the program.
Hey, Steve. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, buddy.
And great. And yeah, you have to look at the preponderance of the evidence. This woman's lying goes back decades. It goes back to when she was working in Watergate, where her boss, Seifman, I think, a lifelong Democrat, called her a liar and an unethical, dishonest lawyer, and he canned her.
Yep.
And you got the Rose Law Firm, you got Whitewater, you got Filegate, you get all these emails, you got her lying about stupid stuff like being under sniper fire in Bosnia. You got her lying about being named after Sir Edmund Hillary.
Yeah.
Then you got her lying about her grandparents who were immigrants. This woman is a professional liar.
Yeah, she is.
I don't think she can stop lying. And maybe this is God's way. You lied in the Bible. It's pretty big consequences.
Major.
Remember Abraham lied about his wife? He did that to kind of save himself. But he had to pay for that. He paid consequences for that.
You know, now, that's a great point you bring up, Bob. And, you know, God's full of grace. You and I both know that. But the Bible's clear. If you continuously are pathological and almost diabolical and sinister about it, consequences have always come to people because of it.
Yeah, and it's going to happen to the husband, too, because they got this online. Well, how about forgiveness? I said, but forgiveness, always repentance got to follow forgiveness.
Absolutely.
You know, you forgive, and God said, you're forgiven, but sin no more.
Right.
He told the woman that they were going to stone her. So, you know, she keeps on sinning, and Bill is just as bad. He's
absolutely. No, great point.
They want to hold him up now as a modicum of decency. The economy was great. The liberal only votes with their pocketbook. The economy was good, but he was disbarred and impeached, and he ruined the presidential office for a lifetime of people.
Oh, no question.
Model him, you know.
No question about it. This is the guy. This is the guy, and I appreciate it, Bob. Thanks for weighing in, buddy. This is the guy, Bill Clinton.
Your family can contain healthcare costs without giving up your freedom. Go to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
Thank you for listening to Building America on the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
The Home Improvement Broadcasting Network wants to congratulate this year's recipient of the National Radio Media Association Radio Talk Show Host of the Year, our very own, the host of Home Talk USA, the Cajun Contractor, Michael King. Welcome back to Home Talk USA with home improvement expert, the Cajun Contractor, Michael King, on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. If you have a question or comment concerning home improvement repairs, new construction, or renovations, the Cajun Contractor will get you the answers. And now, back to Home Talk USA with the Cajun Contractor, Michael King.
Welcome back. That's right, on the Cajun Contractor, and this is Home Talk USA, the only home improvement program that will educate you, guide you, advise you on your home improvement projects. What separates us from our competitional shows is that this is an educational show of technology. That's right. I will make one promise to you. If you just keep listening here each week, every week, you will be the most educated, the most knowledgeable when it comes to home improvement projects and technology. We're talking to Grace Smith with Vote Life. We're talking about sealants and caulks. Grace, before the break, you were talking about the difference between caulks and sealants, and but how do you decide which one to use, though?
Well, you have to consider what you're expecting from the sealant. Certain sealants will stick to certain materials, and they won't be compatible with other materials. You want to also determine how fast you want it to cure. Obviously, if you need something to cure right away, you don't want to use a sealant that's going to take a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks to cure. And then you also have to decide how long you want it to last. A lot of times people use a sealant, they want it to last indefinitely, which is fine. But there are some applications where people only want it to last for a little while because they're going to change something out. They want to know that they can easily remove it if they need to, or they're going to remove it, so they want something that's not going to be too tenacious. So those are all things that you want to consider. You know, as I said, there are so many different types that you can get confused. So you do have to sit down and think about where you're going to use it and what you want it to do exactly, what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay. So just map out a little job plan of what you're trying to accomplish from this, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What is the difference between